Folks, good morning, welcome back to the channel. Going to go outside, do a little bit on the pond. I'm actually going to feed the fish as well. It is blowing a gale out there. We're looking at 60-mile-an-hour winds, Storm Eunice. We've just had Storm Dudley, and hopefully the roof will stay on the pond. We're going to go and give the fish a little bit of food. I've been feeding them the last few days up to 9.5 degrees and have been for a good few days now, and they're very active, so I'm going to give them a little bit of wheat germ. And then we'll talk about some things in the filter house, what's coming up, and a few thank yous to give out. So see you outside. Let's hope I don't get blown away. That's all we're putting in, a small handful. And they're a bit shy at the minute. They don't like the covers coming off. It is very windy, folks. Very, very windy. I'm hoping the roof stays on the pond. These polycarb sheets don't get ripped off, but I think we're quite sheltered here where I am, so thought they were coming up then. First of all, grow and show. I don't know if any of you watched James the Koi Whisperer and Lee Hadfield the Koi Soldier. If they watched the video on their grow and show with exclusively koi, I bought one of those fish, £95, absolute bargain for little Isa showa. I think we're going to be picking up in around about March time, and then we can look at growing it on through the year and see how we get on. It's only going to be a toe size, so I think we're looking at around about 20 centimetres, something like that, but it'll still be a quality fish. So thanks to James and Lee for putting on that, and that's going to be upcoming, so we'll be able to follow that journey and see how the fish get on through this season. Another thank you, Andy at Finch Filtration. I've been speaking to him pretty much all week about the chlorine in the pond. I've never taken chlorine seriously. I've always done my checks for nitrite and the usual ammonia and all that sort of stuff, but never really took chlorine, or what comes out your tap, never really took it that seriously until I built this pond and started watching videos and realised actually that would have been the cause of a lot of my problems that I've had in the past with fish, with the veins coming up on the fish and just poor quality really. So last week, after I put in the moving bed, I tested the chlorine, and it was showing more chlorine in the pond than what was coming out my tap, which was strange. And fair play to Andy at Finch Filtration. He spent probably 40 minutes on the phone, a few different phone calls, sorting me out, giving me advice on what to do, explaining the chlorine and the chloramines, etc. I've not spent a penny with him, and he's not tried to sell me anything. He just wanted to give me the best advice, so I'll definitely be going back to him when I do need anything in the future, so really appreciate that. The main thing was chloramines. Go and ask my water board if there's chloramines in the water, and that's where you start off. If you want to know what's in your water, go to your water board and they'll tell you. Good thing is there's no chloramines in my water. It is literally just chlorine. So he then gave me the correct dosage for the sodium thiosulfate, just so that I can completely neutralise the pond, which was 150 grams for a 1,000-gallon pond, which is mine is. I put that in, and within a couple of hours I was showing completely zero for the chlorine. Next step is the 3-stage dechlorinator that I've got. He's telling me that that is big enough for my size pond, and I don't need to go and buy a big blue or anything like that. What I am doing wrong is putting the tap on full bore just to fill it up as quick as I can, and the carbon's not having a chance to do its job. So the main thing is to trickle the water through so the carbon has a chance to have contact with the water and clear out the chlorine. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, testing the flow, seeing what levels I can get out of the dechlorinator without any chlorine showing. So I'll be doing that later on today. So yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. Not really a lot to update you with. I'm going to fill up. I've bought some more media for the moving bed. It is the BioCell K1, very similar to the K1, but much cheaper. £37.50 I paid for 50 litres from All Pond Solutions, which was an absolute bargain. I think it's on offer. I'm not sure that's their normal price, but I was expecting it to be, poor quality, and I've got it out the bag. I'll show you that in a little while. It's very, very similar to the other media, the KK1000 that I was using. I can't see any differences, to be honest with you. Same size, same pattern, etc. So yeah, bit of a bargain. Just get yourself to All Pond Solutions, and hopefully they've still got the offer on. And that's it, folks. Not really much more to update you with. The fish are very active, and as I said, it's still fairly warm. 9.5 degrees I've got at the moment, and it has been for a few days. So yeah, I fed the fish last few days. only a very small handful. I'm going to keep an eye on the ammonia and the nitrite, just to make sure we don't have a spike in that while the filters try and catch up. Have a look at these. As you can see, folks, the water clarity is absolutely crystal. We've got the 3 filters running now, obviously. It has definitely made a little bit of difference to the clarity. I mean, I always had clear water anyway, never had algae or anything like that, but yeah, it's definitely made a difference. It'll look better when I've cleaned the window. The window needs a scrub on the inside, but yeah, the fish definitely seem happier since I neutralised the pond and got rid of the chlorine. Seem a lot more settled. I did have a bit of flashing last week and put that down to the chlorine. So yeah, learning bit by bit, day by day, learning different stuff. I don't know if you can see that fish there feeding, got a red mark on its head. It's got a few lumps on its body. I have no idea if that's carp pox or what, or whether it's got something else. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it before. The kahaku, as I said before, has had carp pox since I moved him into this pond. She's struggling with that. I'm hoping that'll clear up in the springtime. But this one here, you see that red spot on its head, and down its back along its dorsal fin you can see there's another couple of raised spots, and they're literally rock hard. You can see them coming up now on the top of its head. They are rock hard lumps, and I have no idea what that is. It's always been very healthy, feeds fine, but yeah, just don't know what those marks are. Hopefully now I've got the water sorted and got the chlorine gone and we've got the filters running, hopefully I'll see an improvement in these fish. If not, I'll potentially have to move them on. I'm going to wait until spring and see what happens. Right, I'll cover this over and we'll go into the filter house. Folks, just quickly show you the media I bought. The stuff in my hand that was PP'd when I first went into the moving bed. This was the KK1000. And it wasn't expensive, but it was a lot more expensive than what I've just paid for the BioCell. And as you can see, there's absolutely no difference really. This stuff is absolutely bang on for the money. £37.50 for 50 litres. It's exactly the same surface area, same design. The only thing I think I can see a difference is this might be slightly more flexible, as in you'll be able to squash it a little bit easier, so maybe a slightly thinner material on the plastic. I did put about 15 litres in the moving bed without PP in it, and it's taken a day and a half, 2 days to start settling, and I've got the rest of it in a box down here, so that should go straight in and have no issues with that. But I can't see any difference in those two media, so Oil Pond Solutions, good bargain. Get yourself over to them if you want some media. I don't know how long that price will be going for, but yeah. And this should easily hold, I mean I had, what was it, 35 litres I had in there originally, and I bought another 50, so 85 litres. I think that'll be enough in here. It could probably handle a little bit more, but I'm happy with 85 litres. Yeah, shower's all working, still no backing up on that, no problems. And I'm going to flush out the Easy Pod today, just get rid of any waste, and then just a small top up, and we are going to trickle it through the dechlorinator rather than turn it on full bore like I've been doing. But yeah, again, learning curve. So I will test the water coming out of there today to see if there is any chlorine, even with the trickle on. If there is, then I'll change the cartridges, even though I only did them 3 weeks ago. So yeah folks, that's where we are. I'm going to get this other media in, and then I'll come back to you in a little while. So that's the filter washed out. Just got a slight bit of water to top up, and again, like I said, I'm going to trickle it through the dechlorinator and check it with the DPD-4 tablets to make sure we've got no chlorine, and see what's the best flow rate for that. Still blowing a gale. I don't think I'm anywhere near as bad as you guys down south, so I hope you guys are keeping safe. Hope your ponds are all still intact. When you look at mine, that flimsy bit of wood over the pond, and the wind whistles all the way down the close, round the one side of the house and back up again. I'm right at the end of a cul-de-sac, so the bar, had to move all the drinks off the bar and glasses and everything just in case, but that will be open soon and getting absolutely smashed. So yeah, I'll go and do some tests on the chlorinator and see how we get on, because it's important to get rid of this chlorine, make sure I'm not keep topping the pond up with chlorine all the time. So we'll go and switch the tap on, and I'll get some tests done, and I'll come back to you in a little while. So that is literally the trickle back into the pond. We're going to test that flow now, see if there's any chlorine in it, and if there is, and obviously the cartridges need changing, or I need to slow it down even more than that. I can't seem to be able to slow it down more than that, because that's hardly anything. And I am going to get a tap put on this dechlorinator inside the filter house, because I'm having to walk out to the side gates to switch the tap on and off all the time, so it's a bit of a pain. So we'll test this now, and I'll show you that test and we'll see how we go. It's the DPD-4 tablet gone in. See it better on that. Straight away I can't see any pink. Can't see any pink in that at all. Looks absolutely clear, which tells me at that trickle rate, and obviously it's not measured in any way, I haven't measured how many litres per minute or anything like that. I'm just going to know by looking at it that at that flow rate there's no chlorine. I think what I'll do is I'll turn the tap up a little bit more, just a little bit more, to try and fill the pond up as quick as possible and see if that shows a reading or not. But I'm happy that that is pretty much, there's no pink in that at all, you can see against the white pipe there. We'll try and turn it up a bit and see if that works. Okay, I've turned it up a little bit more, not a lot more, but a little bit more. We'll test that and see if that shows any. If it doesn't, then I'm going to keep it at that flow. I'm happy to top the pond back up on that. It'll take a few hours, but it's better than having chlorine back in the pond, because I think that's been my problem the whole time I've been keeping koi. So yeah, we'll try that and see how we go. So let's try again. Hopefully this won't show any chlorine. There's a bit of a better flow. No sign of any pink in there. Folks, I'm not sure how good these DPD-4 tablets are. I mean, I'd imagine if I was to get a digital one like a Hana test kit or something like that, it'd probably show a trace of chlorine. But I'm going to go by these for now. I can't be going out buying Hana test kits at the moment. Concentrate on getting the filters right for the pond. Once I'm happy the pond's all running properly, I can probably add luxuries like Hana test kits and stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, that's clear. There's no pink in that at all. You look down the tube, there's absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm fairly happy that that flow rate that's coming out of the chlorinator now, there's no chlorine in there. And I know there's no chloramines in there because the water board have told me so. So yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I'm just not going to turn the tap on any more than that to try and get the pond filled up quickly or anything. I'll just leave it at that small trickle and wait for it to fill back up. I think that's the way forward. So thanks to Andy at Finch Filtration again, such great advice, free advice as well. And for me, that's brownie points. So when I go and spend any money, it'll definitely be with him. Folks, I just thought I'd quickly, before I go, do a quick comparison on the on my actual tap water before it gets to the chlorinator. And as you can see, straight away it's pink, and that shows me that the chlorinator is doing the job. With a small trickle in there, it's getting rid of the chlorine, and there you go. You can see straight away there's pink, and I've only literally put that tablet in there from the tap water. So there is a bit of chlorine in the tap water. And the chlorinator is doing the job, so I'm fairly happy that that the pond has got no chlorine in, or at least very little. And if there is any sort of traces of chlorine in there, it'll probably gas off in the next 12 hours, 24 hours anyway. So there we go, folks. Another important lesson, I think, for me, and to keep on top of the chlorine just as much as any of my other checks. And if you are starting out with koi, the first thing to do before you do any nitrite checks and anything like that, make sure you test the water that you're actually putting into the pond, your tap water, because there's all sorts of metals in there and things like that that will affect how your pond survive. So find out off your water board what's in there, especially chloramines. If there are chloramines in there, you're going to need a certain type of filter in order to take out the chloramines. It's going to be a different one to the chlorine filters. If you haven't got chloramines, great. All you need to do is concentrate on getting rid of the chlorine in the pond. And if you've got a 3-stage dechlorinator, all you can really do is trickle it into that. Bit different if you've got a big blue, then you could probably put a little bit more flow through there, but I don't actually need one. So just a bit of advice, check what water's going into your pond before you put any fish in it, and keep on top of the chlorine just as much as you do with any of your other checks. Make it your weekly check, because as I've found out over the years, that problems I've had on my fish and times where they've been flashing and I thought there was parasites, etc., a lot of the times it's been down to high chlorine in the pond. So you live and learn. I'm sure a lot of people have been down this journey as well and done the same thing. And these videos are really a way to help other people so that they don't make the same mistake. You guys can choose whether you listen or not, or you can choose to learn by my mistakes and do things the right way. So as I said before, I'm no expert. I'm certainly a novice, and I'm learning as I go, and this is a valuable lesson to me, to make sure that you test your tap water. There we go. That's the chlorine sorted, I think, and I know a little bit more about it now. So now how to stop it coming into the pond, and I'm happy that those little cartridges are working. I'll keep testing every week now. I'll do a test on the pond, and I'll test the water that comes out of the cartridges, just so that I know that I've got no chlorine coming into the pond 100%, because as I said, I didn't really take it seriously before until now, and I realised that it's caused a lot more problems in the past. I've put some of the media in the moving bed, but it's not PP'd enough. It's still floating, so I'd imagine by tomorrow most of that will be sinking and flying around as it should. But it's almost full. I've probably got another 20 litres in the box to put in there. I'll sort that out tomorrow. But that's it really for today, folks. Again, thanks to James and Lee for sorting out the growing show. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting you guys down at I think it's Bidford or something like that. I can't remember the name. Somewhere down London way. I'm going to get down for the day, pick the fish up, do a bit of a video, and have a chat with the boys. Meet some of the other people. It'd be nice to have a look around exclusively koi as well and see what other fish. Who knows? Could end up coming back with another fish, but I've got to try not to. I've got enough fish in the pond at the moment, and it's important to get the water right first. And thanks to Andy at Finch Filtration for all his advice. It's really appreciated. And thanks to you guys for watching. If you haven't already, click on subscribe, click the like, and yeah, until the next video, folks, take care of yourselves. Make sure you don't get blown away in this storm Eunice. And hopefully we'll have a few dry days where we can get out and do a little bit more nicer work on the pond. And I'm going to test the water just before I go. I did test the water after I did the chlorine changes and everything. All my levels are bang on. pH is at 7.5. Nitrite 0. There's a slight touch of ammonia in there, which I'm not concerned about. Chlorine is gone. What else have we got? KH is at 7 or 8, something like that, and the GH is about 14. So I'm fairly happy with the parameters of the pond. I did have a little bit of flashing in the fish before, but I'm putting that down to the chlorine in the pond. I haven't tested them for any parasites or anything, but I'll do that as the weather warms up. So that's it, folks. Everything seems to be running as I want it at the moment. yeah, so just wait for this weather to warm up because I'm sick of this winter, and we can get out and enjoy pond, sit by the pond with a beer, watch the fish swimming around happily. And that's the main reason why I've got all this work done during the cold weather, so when it does warm up I can enjoy it and actually get back out fishing as well. Folks, if you haven't seen my fishing channel, you're interested in carp fishing, get over to Bez's Carp channel. There's a few videos on there of my fishing trips all around the country. You'll enjoy those, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Folks, once again, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.